Okay, so let's tackle this mirror. Let's maybe just grab the door here. We'll do Control I again and hide select it. Alright, I just gotta turn my shading on the viewports here with F3. And we'll see if we can get a look at this on the blueprints. Okay, and the shape is somewhat complicated here. We have quite a few bars that are kind of bent in different directions, so let's do this one piece at a time. Let's maybe actually hide the door for now. We probably don't really need to have that in here. So I think we'll start on the main vertical bar here. Let's just jump into the back view. And we're going to create this with a spline, so let's go into the shapes panel, we'll grab a line here. And I'm just going to start here at the top. And we'll go straight across here to about this point here. And straight across to about there. Bring it down. And we'll come out. Let's add one right here as well. And we'll come all the way back to the door. And right click to end. Okay, and let's go over into the modify panel here. We'll just enable and render and enable in viewport so we can see the thickness. And we'll take that up a bit. And let's maybe do about 6.5 on this for starters. We'll also put a blue shader on it. And we'll jump into the left view here and just move this to the front. Okay, so let's maybe line up the piece here with the top. And you can see it's a little bit higher in the left view than it is in the back view, and that's just because the blueprints are off. So let's move this down maybe just a little bit here to make it line up a little bit better in this view. So let's go line the top up right here. Okay. And it's also going to be slightly off in the top view. So we'll just have to kind of work with the difference. Okay, so maybe go back into the top view. And just for the sake of bending this around, I'm actually going to move this up and line it up in this view for a second. And we'll go back into the modify panel, we'll drop this down to vertex. And we'll just grab the top corner vert here in the perspective view. And we'll drag that straight back on the Y here. Okay, we'll try to line it up as best we can. Let's also maybe grab this one here at the bottom. We'll move that over. Okay, we'll line up here a bit in the left view. And we'll just kind of bend this out a little bit better. Alright, so I'm just going to move this vert back until it straightens out here vertically. Okay, let's grab maybe this one here in the center of the bottom, and we'll just give that a bend here in the top view. Alright, and just to make sure we have everything correct, I'm just going to line this up right here for now. And we'll worry about adjusting it in a minute. Okay, so now that we have the shape we want, let's turn off vertex. And we'll just move the entire piece back a bit here in the left view so it lines up. And we'll just see if we need to adjust it a little bit more. Let's maybe pull these down a bit. Okay, we'll just line the end up there. And the top, we'll just move out a little bit more. Okay, so we kind of have this bent shape. Okay, so let's jump into the back view. And we'll turn off vertex one more time here. I'm just going to move this up a little bit so we can line it up in this view. And we'll just roll out the corners here by using a fillet on the verts. Okay, so go to vertex there, scroll the way down to the bottom to fillet, click on that, and then we'll just click on each of these verts, hold down the mouse button, and just drag up. Okay, and I'll just bend it over a bit. So let's do something like that, which is around 10 on the fillet. Okay, and it's going to be a little hard to see here in the top view, so we'll just bend this out a little bit more. something like that. And we'll do the exact same thing here on the bottom. All right, so let's start with this vert here. Gonna bend this a little bit more. And we'll do this one here in the top view. Maybe something like that. Okay, and I think that's pretty much the shape we're looking for. So now we'll just start working on the other smaller support bars here. So let's turn off vertex, and it'll probably be the easiest for us to line this up in the top view. So let's push this back up and line it up here. And we'll go into the crate panel, grab another line. I'm just going to uncheck these two boxes for a second. And we'll start right here in the middle of this line and just bring it back right to here. Click there and then bring it in. And right click to end. So we have a piece like that. Now we'll turn these back on and we'll just move this up. Okay, so in the left view here, we'll just bring it right up to the top. And we'll line it up with the other spline there. Okay, I'm just going to line up the center edges like that. We'll also put our blue shader on it. And we want these to be a little bit thinner than this bar is here. So let's take the thickness down a bit. Just going to scroll back up in here. Okay, and we'll take this down maybe to about 5. Okay, back in the top view. And we'll just give this a little bit of a bend here with fillet again. Okay, so let's take this vert here up a bit and just give it a little bit of a curve. Okay, so that'll be our second bar, and we have 3 more of them to go, or 2 actually, I think. One down here and then one that kind of goes across from the bottom corner here to the door. So let's maybe do the vertical one next. And it'll probably be the easiest for us to see here, obviously, in the back view. So let's grab another line, and we'll do the exact same here. Start here in the center of the the spline up top there, and just bring it all the way down to the bottom. Click, then right click to end. Let's throw our blue material on there. We'll leave the thickness at 5 for this one, and we'll just move this over in the left view, and we'll try to line it up. Let's maybe do it in the top view. Just going to bring this right forward, and we'll line up the center edge on this piece with the center edge of the main bar again, like that. And let's go into vertex here, and I'm going to grab this vert here, which is the top one. Okay, and we're going to line this up with the end of this bar here coming across. Okay, so let's move this down to about there. Try to line the vert up there with that center edge. Then we'll grab the other vert, which is the bottom vert down here. And we'll just pull this straight up and over a little bit here. We'll just want to move this back a little bit so it's intersecting the bar here in the center. Okay, so make sure you don't have it sticking out like that where you can see the bottom. Just bring it in until it's kind of tucked inside. Okay, and we'll just check out the top. We're just going to grab that top vert, hit Z, and back out a bit. And we'll just see if that's sitting in the correct position. All right, let's move it forward a little bit here. And I think that should be fine for now. So we have one more bar here at the bottom. And let's maybe do this one in the top view. I'm just going to go to vertex here, back into the crate panel, grab another line. And for this one, we'll start here where the door will be, and we'll just take this right across to the center of the main bar again. Okay, and don't worry about the angle, we can fix that in a second. Just right click to end it. And the reason we can't see it here is it's actually being blocked by that bottom blueprint, so we'll just bring that way up. Okay, Okay, and for this one we'll line it up right here at the bottom. Alright, so I'm going to get that close to lined up with the bottom of this piece. And don't worry about the blueprints here, we'll fix the alignment after on all these pieces. Okay, so let's chuck our blue shader on there. And we'll go back into vertex. Just going to grab the vertex here on the left side. Alright. And we'll bring that up maybe in the back view. And we'll line it up with the center edges here as best we can. Okay, so we'll leave it maybe like that for now. Let's see how that looks. Alright, needs to come up a little bit more, so just drag it up on the Z until it's sitting right in the center of that bar. Okay, maybe a little bit more here. Okay. And I think that's the last of the support bars. We still have quite a bit of work to do on them. Now let's maybe turn off vertex here. We'll just grab all the splines. Just gonna right click and unhide all. And we'll just grab the door here maybe by control clicking it. Do Control I to invert the selection and hide select it. Okay, I just want to see where this is lining up on the actual body of the truck or door. Okay, so you can see it's a little bit high here, so we're gonna need to make it bring it down a bit. Okay, so let's grab all the bars. And we'll just move them down a bit and line it up a little bit better in the left view here. Okay. Okay, so I think we're close enough. Let's maybe put in the rest of the pieces here. We have kind of a base here that bolts onto the door. It's a little hard to see, but let's model this piece now. Alright, so let's go into the crate panel, we'll grab a box for this one. And we'll just draw this out right here. And I'm just going to do it really quick and we'll figure out the size in a second. Okay, so give it a little bit of thickness there. And in the top view, we'll just move this over to the outside of the door. And slightly intersect it here. Okay, just like that. Let's throw the blue on there. And we'll worry about centering it to the bars in a minute. Let's maybe chamfer down some edges first. Let's convert this to a poly. Just gonna spin around the back here, delete that back polygon. And we'll maybe just knock off the corners here. So let's do a ring on this edge and a chamfer. And we'll take this up a little bit more, around 1.3 or so, hit apply. And we'll give it maybe a triple here. Okay, so just pretty much evenly space these edges and then hit OK. And to get the front edge there, we'll just grab the front polygon, control click edge, and chamfer it over. And we'll just do that maybe about 0.2 or so. And OK. Alright, so pretty simple for the plates. Let's maybe clone this guy down to the bottom. Alright, so I'm just going to shift drag this piece down on the Y as a copy. And we'll just line this up with the bottom plate here. Okay, and we also need to make it a little bit longer, so we'll just go into vertex, grab the left verts, and yank them down. Okay, and don't worry if the bars don't line up right now, we'll fix that in a minute. And I think we might need to make it a little bit thicker top to bottom, so let's go back into vertex here. Let's get on a wireframe of F3. Okay, we'll grab all the bottom verts here and just make it a little bit thicker. Maybe something like that. Okay, let's also maybe center the pivot point here, so I'm just going to go in the hierarchy tab, effect pivot only, and center to object, and turn the button off. Okay, I'll just kind of adjust this here a bit. And maybe for the top one, we'll thicken that up a little bit as well. Okay, so let's grab that top piece, and we'll do the exact same thing here. Grab those top verts, just make it a little bit thicker. Okay, and we'll center the pivot on that one as well. Okay, And let's maybe adjust the bars here. Let's grab this main bar. Okay, we'll go back into vertex. And we're just going to move this one down here at the end. Okay, until it's kind of sitting in the center of this plate. Okay, so just kind of eyeball that into the center. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And you can see we have a bit of a bend here in the bar. So we'll see if we can adjust the vert here on the corner, which is right there. Okay, and let's maybe just move these handles around a bit to straighten it out. I'm just going to bring it down until the bottom part here straightens out and those segments disappear. Okay, and if you want to leave the curve in there, you can, but I think that looks probably fine. Alright, so we'll see if this side here lines up properly, and you can see it's a little bit too high. So we'll just do the same thing here, grab that back vert, and just kind of eyeball it into position here. Okay, so those both look pretty centered, and that should be good enough. Let's maybe move this one up just a little bit more. Let me grab the right spline here first. Let's move that up a little bit. Okay, so that's pretty good for the bottom. We'll just check out the top here. Okay, we'll just line up the pivot point here on this piece with the center of this spline here. And that should pretty much get everything in the right position. Okay, let's maybe just slightly move the bars back now. So let's grab all those pieces. I'm not going to grab the plates. Let's move the bars back a little bit here towards the back of the door. And I just want to give us enough space here that we can put in maybe a bolt on the end. Okay, so I think that's pretty good for the frame. We still have to obviously create the mirror, which we'll do next. And actually before let's maybe convert these to actual edible poly objects. Let's just grab all the pieces here. Let's get a hide unselected here to get rid of the blueprints. We'll also hide the door. And we'll just clean these up a little bit now that we have them in the correct position. You can see they're all sticking through the back there. And you can actually leave that if you want because it's going to be inside the truck. But if you want to clean it up, you can actually just cut the ends off, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So we grab the main bar first. Okay, we'll collapse it down to editable poly. Okay, and we really don't need to have the end polygons here as well. So we can delete this one out. And if we come down the bottom here, just going to grab those polygons, deselect those ones, and hit Z. You can see we actually have 3 polygons here on the end. Alright, that happens on every spline when you create it or turn it into editable poly. You'll always have 1 polygon on one end and 3 polygons on the other end. So when you delete those out, just be aware of that. Delete all 3. And we can actually just trim it up here in the top view by turning off polygon and going down to quick slice maybe. And we'll just cut it maybe off inside the plate here. Alright, so we'll do both these at the same time. Let's maybe just click here, take it all the way down to the other side, straighten it out if you want, and then just click. Turn off quick slice, and if you go back to polygon there, just grab the end polys and delete them out. Okay, so that's a little cleaner than what we had. We'll do the same thing with the other bars here. Let's grab this guy, collapse him down to edit poly. Go into polygon, grab all the polygons in the center, do Control I and delete, and we'll just clean up the one end here. Okay, so just quick slice that across and delete those polygons off the end. And you don't have to do this step if you don't want to. It really doesn't matter if they're sticking inside like this. Okay, so we'll grab that bottom bar, collapse it down, select those center polygons, Control I and delete, and just slice off the end there. Okay, won't worry about cutting off these ends here. They're tucked inside the bars, so we can't really see that anyways. Alright, and if you want to on this one, you can just delete the end caps. Okay, just like that. And that'll clean it up a little bit for us.